Whenever a developer starts to develop on Java, he/she comes across terms like JVM, JRE, or JDK. What are these?
Right. JVM, as I said earlier, is a Java virtual machine. Now, coming back to the first answer that I gave, that Java is a platform, the reason is the Java virtual machine. It's like when I write a C program, it's generally I'm using the libraries of the operating system, or I'm using libraries or functions which are mapped to the operating system. And typically my processor only understands in terms of assembly. And generally at the operating system level or at the hardware level, you have everything converted, which is in C, C++, everything has to be converted into object binaries necessary for the hardware, which is your processor. On PCs you have Intel and AMD processors or Apple processors, or on mobile you generally have ARM processors. So they only understand in terms of assembly and low-level binaries. So Java, as it is called also as a high-level programming language, needs to be translated, needs to be converted into the low-level binary. So that's where Java Virtual Machine comes into the picture. And this translation is standardized by Sun Microsystems, and now it is under Oracle, which is looking after the specification of JVM. So this JVM is basically a bytecode interpreter, because all the Java code that is compiled is it is in the form of the bytecode of the operating system that you're running into, and then it is translated as per the hardware platform by the JVM. So JVM is very specific to the operating system and the hardware processor that you typically use. So there will be a different JVM executable for Windows, and there will be a different JVM executable for Linux, and so on and so forth. It's like when I am talking in English, and if there are two people who do not understand English, one person understands in Bengali and the other person understands only Marathi. So there will be two interpreters required, but both of them should understand English and translate into Bengali or Marathi. So JVM works in a typical way that it translates from the Java language into the native language of the operating system. The JRE and the JDK are the terms related to the development environment for the Java platform. JRE is the Java runtime environment. It basically includes a set of common libraries, or the usually used libraries, which are necessary for the programmers to start developing Java-based programs or applications. And JDK is basically a set of tools. It's a set of tool chain combined together to compile, link, debug Java programs. So that's your Java development kit. So typically when you go to Oracle Sun site, typically the Oracle download site, you find the JDK setup for either Windows or Linux, which also includes the JRE, because these necessary libraries are part of the JDK setup, so that the programmer, when they write programs and they compile, it is compiled with respect to existing standard libraries of the Java. And those are then executed on the JVM, which is also available on your operating system.